1 mil subscribers. To celebrate, I'm punishing myself by drawing hard drawing. I'm doing marathon drawings to celebrate, kind of. I don't think I thought this through. This is like torture. So let's draw Saja, boys. So this is difficult because there's 5 guys. It's going to be a long one. Take your time, hit pause. Thank you for 1 mil subscribers. I've said it before and I say it again. I don't understand at all why so many people subscribe. Anyway, landscape, page, pencil, eraser, pause. We'll go too fast. We're going to start with Gino. So because there's 5 guys, they get smaller. 5 guys burgers. They get smaller. So the heads are real small. So we got to like zoom in, and we'll go for this as best we can and get it as detailed as we can when it's this size. So eyes, very large, anime style. Eyelashes, go. Okay, let's try. Diagonal. Okay, and then curves across, down, spiky at the end. Okay, and it's kind of darker, thicker maybe. Quite big, you know, eyelash lines on these guys. So then bottom eyelid comes down this way and then goes back in to his tear duct in there. And I don't think they draw in the tear duct, it's just like a spike. Okay, so that's the shape we're talking about for his eyes. I got a burn on my arm in the oven. That's what that is. Just right, and then brown eyes. Big brown eyes. It looks like half circle, so it looks like coming down from here. And then black. Eyelid line. Does he have an eyelid line? He should. Maybe not. So let's try. We'll do. What do we do? Maybe we'll do a little eyelid. Maybe it's like touching his eyelashes there. Yeah. Maybe he just has like smooth eyelids. The others have eyelid lines, I think. I'll do one. Just because I think he should have one. See, when you're doing a line drawing, it changes things, you know. They're like computer modeling them. Can't see his eyebrow because it goes behind his hair. So we can see like a little bit. Maybe I'll just do the front. And it goes just back underneath his hair there. So you can literally only see that much of his eyebrow. So we'll go over to the other eye. So you're about eye width, right? So the width of his eye fits in between, like maybe the white part of his eye. If you go with the eyelashes, it might be a bit far. Maybe just the white of his eye is about the distance. And then do that shape on the other side, right? And then across. Kind of goes spiky at the end. And it's a thick, dark eyelash. Do. Right, and then we have just the eye coming down this side. to do our best to get it sort of thin. And then big brown eye on the inside. Yeah, am I right? Yeah, like here. And then down. And we'll give him an eyelid line on top. Eyelid lines are optional, obviously. Do. And then he has a hairy eyebrow. You can see more of this eyebrow on this side, I think. This one goes underneath his hair on this side. So he's got like a piece of hair. You could finish, maybe I'll finish the eyebrow. That's kind of like his hairline though as well. So. So nose, so we'll go, yeah, nose line kind of just coming down here, bridge of his nose. A little bit on the other side, but we'll just do that. And then we can see his nostrils down here. And then the skin on the side. Now with noses usually kind of less is more, you know, so maybe shadow them up a little bit. And sometimes maybe some, just like the tip of his nose, just sort of there along the bottom. Okay, now big lips, so mouth. So the center line where his lips meet, okay, so he's kind of smiling, so we'll go across, right? And then it kind of dips down in the middle, back up, across this way. And then he is kind of smiling, so it's like it's a shallow little smile, so it kind of curves up on the side, right? And then they all have like large lips, so top lip, bottom lip. Okay, kind of that kind of a thing. And Gino, very strong chin and a strong jaw. Him and sort of Abby have the very masculine sort of features. Right. So, and like roughly proportion wise, I would say like here to here is about the same as here to here. So like say like top eyelid to his nostrils, about the same as nostrils to chin. And then nostrils to bottom lip is about the same as bottom lip to chin. Just like that's rough proportion of the face when it's looking dead forward like that. So then we'll go for his jaw, and his jawbone's kind of in line with his mouth, right? So we'll go to there. And that's where it starts to turn like up towards his side of his face. So, and he's got like some sideburns, say on the side of his face, just beside his eyes. So you're aiming for like, he's got like these thin sideburns here, just beside his eye. Okay, so then we'll go up this way. And then he could have just like some cheekbones kind of coming in here. Right, so hair now. So he's got like long, loose sort of hair. So middle line here, the part in his hair is here. And you get like a little zigzag going that way and going that way. And then his hair spikes curve around basically from here. So we get like coming down very close to his eye. Right along his eyelid line here. Okay, I like to kind of touch his ear there. And then we put some texture in there, and then we'll go the other way. This like goes right down across his ear on this side. A couple of spikes. All right, and then so the hair kind of goes bumping kind of that way. And every now and then you might get a spike. Right, so his ears stick out here. And then he has those piercings. And then we'll give him some ear lines. This ear seems to stick out a bit further on this side. Maybe I'll even it up a little bit. Piercing down there, and then some ear lines. So then the part in his hair goes like either direction. Like all up this way and sort of down. And then there might be like one that sticks up. Like there in the middle. Then we go down the other side. So we'll go down this way. Okay. And that's Gino's head, pretty much. Okay, neck. So wide neck, very strong neck. And then they just give him some neck muscles here. And then chest going this way. And then they're all shirts and stuff. So shirt comes down the center like that. Goes right off the bottom of my page. And he's got a white t-shirt. There is a chain there, but to keep it simple, we'll just add the t-shirt. And then, you know, because this is going to be complicated enough as it is. I was thinking about it, I was like, for 1 million, I will do really hard, crazy drawings. Everyone will love that. And it's like, people are like, I can't do this. So I'm just like adding his collar. It goes under baby Saja's arm there. So I'll just stop that there. You could draw it if you want and erase it afterwards. You know, but it's sometimes it's quicker for me anyway to just leave that like that. More efficient. Buttons there. Lips right up, maybe. Yeah, the lips seem to be an important feature. Now he's got 2 arms coming over his shoulder, so we have a few options, but I will draw them first before I do Abby and Baby, because I think that's probably best. Because like romance is kind of in front of Baby. So difficult. Well, let's see what we'll do. We'll see. So I'll do Abby's wrist and hand just here. Hands are tricky now, so. But they do them kind of simple, I guess. So it just comes down pretty long and then curves around the first knuckle. And then the next finger. Next one. So 3 of them there. You can kind of see skin there, folds. And this pinky comes down. Now the pinky has gone in underneath this line. That's the palm of his hand. So it's very slender, kind of. So then Gino's shoulder just goes this way. And his arm down there. Then that's Abby's chest. But shirt sort of lines armpit. Same on that side. And Baby's hand is there, shoulder. So his other shoulder. So male shoulders are a head width, right? Just so, not his ears now or his hair, his face, like his skull. So that's how far out you judge that. So like this distance, if you go from his cheek out that far, you'll get to a shoulder. So if you measure and then you go out, that's where his other shoulder will be here. So we'll just do that. And then you'll know where sort of to put Baby's hand as well. Right? So that's like his shoulder there. And the hand covers that part. And it's like a fluffy sweater. So it's like textured thing. So like you can do the texture or you can do it smooth. It's not crucial if you do texture, but if you like the texture on his clothing, you know, do it this way. And this is what gets it looking sort of woolly and comfortable. Somewhere down the road. All right, so kind of there, and then his sleeve. And we got fingers, so fingers and thumb, I think thumb there, and then index finger. So coming out, every time your fingers have 3 segments, so they articulate around these 2 joints. So it looks like there's 3 parts, right? So now I have 1, there's a joint, and then 2, and then a joint, and then 3. And then we curve around. 1, 2, 3. Then the next finger, 1, same again, 2, 3, around. And the next finger comes out then. This one, 1, 2, and it's going like back in, so they get kind of stumpier. One, 2, and then 3, around. Right, and he does have fingernails there, dark, nail polished sort of fingernails, and you can barely see the last 2. Now, so we go right or left, maybe baby next. So I'll get the side of the face, so his shoulders here as well, actually, so I'll do that. So the shoulder is nearly touching the face, right? So just get your distance. So his shoulder comes down his chest, right? So that's another part of his woolly sort of sweater. And then his face shape, so just to get the head in the right place, it's in here. That's like behind Romance's head. So we can see like his sort of his eyebrow or brow area. Now it's under hair, right? So I'll just curve it in. And then it goes around his cheek. So it's subtle now. And then this goes down for his jawbone. So this is like the face shape, right? So, and then you have like, you know, hair spikes sort of all sticking out here, right? So just to give you an idea of what we're dealing with, because it's kind of, you know, tricky to get eyes first, because you want the face to be in the right place, you know what I mean? So this will be his chin, which kind of joins his neck, and you have an Adam's apple there, okay? And this is all hair. So he's got this like, I don't care attitude, right? So he's got like these very lazy looking eyes. So they're kind of like flat across, very sort of like looking down at you, and very kind of, yeah, boy. So let's try this. So we'll go like just here in this dip. So eyebrow sort of area, eye socket area, and then cheekbone. So it's above the cheekbone. So we'll go here. Very sort of nonchalant sort of attitude, right? That's French for carefree. And he does have like big eyelashes again, right? So they all do really. Okay, and then the back of it here, a little bit of a spike, and then we'll curve it around. like that, right? And then he has blue eyes. He's kind of like looking down, so in there, and probably like a shadow of the other side there. It's very dark in there. And then his pupil just on top here. And then his like eyelid lines, like very big, just on top like that. Makes it look like his eyes are kind of semi-closed, sort of by doing this so high up. So his other eye, just across from this, is kind of bigger, right? So bigger than this one. And again, kind of flat across the top. Down there. So the head position now is making this kind of a bit more tricky. Okay, just darken this up a bit. And then again, he's like looking down, kind of a lazy look. Tricky that. And then top eyelid line. Okay. Right, there's eyes pretty much, I think. Right, so we'll try his nose now. So his nose, carving sort of from here. And then there's a nostril in there. And then like the skin of his nose on that side. And then a nostril here. And then the skin of that on this side. Right, and then lips. So again, kind of like pouting, sort of. You get a little bit of a smirk on the side. And then his top lip. And then his bottom lip. Their lips are pretty big for male characters. And then his chin is like, chin line is there. Okay, so like in terms of face shape, you can't see much. So we can see maybe like the bottom of his chin there, and then maybe like a little bit of a jawline, but it kind of like joins his neck. So like, say like his face shape here, it's because he's leaning back. So like that's his neck. So you can't really see a full jawline. It's not sort of drawn in that much. We can see neck muscle there. And then a sideburn here. And then his ear kind of disappears behind romance, but we can see the bottom part. You could draw it all in if that was easier. Say like there, and then his hair is here. So then there's some ear lines. I think his mouth should be a bit longer. Okay. So this is like his large collar then, his big white collar. So this will be a long video now. So forgive me now if I speed up on little bits like this, the clothing. Just want to get it so we know where romance goes. Okay, so romance is like here somewhere. So I'll just get some of baby's hair in. So he's got a lot of fringe. So say like all here. And so that means we should see some eyebrow. High up in there. Maybe no, you can't really see anything in there. It's all hair. Somewhere down the road. Okay. All right, and then like the rest of his hair then. And it just hangs down here. We go behind romance then. So romance hair is like there somewhere. So say like I'll just do a curved line for romance. Romance like love heart head is in here somewhere. Right, let's try Romance Saja. So he's in here. So I guess the easiest way to make sure we get him. So his eyes, nose. So I guess we got to do his love heart hair. It's probably the easiest thing. So we'll do it here, right? This sort of V in the middle of his forehead. It's about here. And then his hairline kind of comes around this way, right? So this is like the top of his head, just to get it in the right place, right? And then he has hair spikes that come out from here. So all these kind of love heart things. Just to give us a bit of an idea where everything goes. And his eyes are kind of underneath this sort of first section. Okay, so we're getting just the top of his head in first, just to make sure we get it in the right place. Like texture under here. And then his hair goes back that way, right? Okay, now, so his eyes are like in here. So if that's his forehead, maybe I'll do his face shape first. So say like, because the eyes should be there, so jaw. So this is his jaw. Like up to there, and then there's like another piece of hair kind of. So he's all these sort of texture lines then on his hair as well. All right, so we roughly know now where his eyes should be. I had to do that first just because of where baby Saja is, you know, so we don't like put his face like on top of baby Saja. So I think that's right. So then, so I'm going to put eye here, about, you know, maybe if the top of his head was there, you want him to be about halfway down the face. So like here. So we'll do eyelash line, kind of like Gino. Although his eyelashes are even bigger. So and they go kind of behind the head. Similar sort of eye shape to Gino. Put an eyelid line there, and big brown eyes, right? Kind of maybe in underneath the hair. So we'll do there. And then kind of just a big dark pupil will go just in there. And his eyebrows, he always has kind of high eyebrows. They're like high up on his forehead. Makes him look sort of more emotional, I guess. So then the other eye over here. Do. So there are, sorry, just making sure I line up those eyebrows before I draw them. So this is out of my comfort zone now. This is like, you know, sweating. I'm sweating. Put it to you this way. I'm gonna have to change my t-shirt. Nice, too much information, thank you. So then his, so he's like looking down. And there he has big brown, big black pupils.
Daddy?
Yeah.
Where's my Zelda book?
I don't know, buddy. It's in the house. You were drawing from it this morning.
Oh yeah.
So like that kind of a thing. Very big, dark. And then an eyelid line again. And we'll try and get those sad eyebrows. Alrighty. Do. Somewhere down the road. What's the difference there? No, that looks alright, I think. Right, so his nose, so we'll just do bridge of his nose here. And he kind of has similar shape on this side. Tip of the nose there. And then nostrils, just these kind of V's because his head is tilted back. And then the skin of his nostril. And with the noses, you don't really have to draw too much more than this, really. Okay, so his mouth is like open, right? So let's try. It's like singing kind of. So very big top lip. They are shallow dips in the middle, then down there. Right, and then, so his top lip then comes across, it's kind of flat. Right, and then open the mouth. So we go down here. And then it curves across. So that just looks like his mouth is closed, but when we add the bottom lip line then, it opens it up. And then his top teeth. So we can just see his tongue, like it's all red in there, but it's probably best to just maybe color that black, just give it a big shadow. like so. Kind of maybe make him look like he's smiling a bit more on that side. Okay, so I can see like his earlobe here. And here. And then there's like an earring on it, like a water drop earring. Like here as well. Lots of texture lines on his hair then. Like he's got like a chin line here. And like some facial lines maybe. Pupils are so big. Like they are, like in the show anyway. Like he's got massive pupils. Alrighty, neck. So his neck and his hairline are kind of the same line, nearly. So let's say this. Right, so we'll do this for some hair spikes. And this is like his neck as well. He's pretty long hair now. I'm removing baby Saja's other arm just to keep things ticking along. Because we still have 2 more to do. So long video today. And he's got quite long neck muscles. Just there. Okay. So his shirt collar is just here. There's another hair spike there. And then his shoulder goes off this way, down behind Gino. And his armpits there. And he's grabbing that locket that he has. So will I draw the hands? What do you think, guys? How many more hands do we have to do? You could leave the hands out if you wanted. Would it be easy to? Maybe we will. Ooh, choices. What do you think? I'm leaving the hands out. So let's just do a shirt. Kind of like this. Okay, and then his collar is kind of longer than Gino's, so it goes, looks like it goes in to there. Okay, and then maybe a button or 2 down here. That's not bad, actually. I thought it's probably better to do it that way, to be honest. If you want to add the hands, you can. You know, he's grabbing his love heart chain, but I'll draw the love heart chain anyway. But just because this is hard enough. So now there's like sun coming in my window. Let's make it a little bit easier on ourselves. Like his chest muscles there. And then we'll do that love heart. So we'll just go a little link here. And then just a love heart locket or something. Right. I'll go over now and do Abby and Mystery. Yeah, good decision to leave out those hands, I think. So, Abby. Now, Abby is in 3/4 pose. We're like right above. It's probably easier. Right, I'll start with his eye just close to Gino's ear. So go right up. And then down. And then it kind of like flicks up for the eyelashes in the corner. And then down that way. So this is like a thicker eyelash line. Right. And then it goes into this spike in the corner here. And then back around to this sort of V shape in the corner of his eye that way. And then we have big brown eyes again. So just looking to the left, so it's kind of like in here and then curves around. And then the pupil is just like that. So he's looking intense. And then there's like a bit of an eyelid line on top. And then his eyebrows are real spiky. And this one will go around his forehead, you know, because we're in 3/4. And there's a big sort of hook spike here. Then down. And this just joins his eyelashes then here. Right. And there's cheek line and stuff, but we'll go. So it goes out there. Right, so his other eye, so just over here. Now remember, if I go too fast, hit your pause button. So his other eye's just over this side. Big eyelashes again. Very sharp. Right, and then the corner of it comes down. Then around. Thank God Mystery doesn't have eyes. I wonder if that's what the animators had in mind, is like, we can't do 5 eyes. Let's just give him a hair that covers his eyes. You wonder. What do you think? Are these types of drawings just ridiculously hard for you? Like we only hit 1 million subscribers every now and then. Well, once. Every now and then. Once. So I thought it might be good to do something that's tricky. His other eye then, so he's like looking to the left and it kind of like comes down. Does take up a lot of time, so I can't do that much of them. It's just the realities of Trying to be successful on YouTube. So there's his eyes, right? Okay, and then a big eyebrow then on this side. Right, and this, and like it has a spike on the top, and then it goes back down there. So he's quite like a large bridge of his nose is the only way I can describe it. So it kind of like comes down from the eyebrow there, and then it bends. Like it curves out and down. Like so, you know, it dips out a bit. So then he has a sort of a nostril coming out like here. And then the skin of it's just along there. And then the other nostril just there. And then the skin of that one like that. And I guess we'll do like the bridge of his nose on this side as well, just because it is. It's kind of big. So you got a big smirk. And then top lip, kind of large. There. And then a bottom lip. Kind of large as well. Right, so he has a strong jaw. So the face shape, his cheek sticks out, his cheekbone sticks out a good bit here. Strong facial features. Right, like down to his chin. It's a very, very strong chin then. Right, and then his jaw. Up to his ear. Okay, so we have a sideburn there. And then his ear sticks out. Round like so. And then the ear lines inside. Like that. And then he has a fringe like so. Goes this way. Some hair coming down. and then his forehead down to there. So like his fringe seems to go out both sides, so we got like some hair spikes. And like another one coming out here somewhere. Right, and then it all just starts to go this way. All combed back. How are you getting on? Have you survived this long in this video? If you have, you are committed. Thank you for subscribing and watching and all that stuff that I'm supposed to say. But it is crazy. That's like a million subscribers. Just doesn't make any sense in my head. I always say this. I will keep saying it forever. I'm so lucky that I can do this as a job. It's kind of wild, actually, if you think about it. So his neck down here, neck muscle there, Adam's apple at the front. Like his shirt collar then goes that way in there, and then his shoulders like gone down because it's behind Gino then. So right, and then collar here. Shoulder seems to go that way then. Short sleeve shirt, I think. And then his like belly goes that way. Bicep is there. Tricep that way. Okay. Oh, we're nearly there. My God. Am I still recording even? Like, I'd say my computer's nearly full. I am still recording. Okay. My God. Where's my picture? We'll do mystery now. He's no eyes, so he's a bit easier. Where's my picture gone? My God. I am such a pro. There we go. All right. I'm going to do Mystery's hair, obviously, first. So he's got where the part where his nose is. Like with the way, like curtains, kind of the way they part, right? Okay, so his nose will come out from here, but we'll just get like all that hair. Okay, and I'll just, yeah, so kind of like, okay, and then it goes up. So that means, so we got like these lines. So he's got like a bell-shaped sort of noggin. And I think we go, yeah, it goes like in behind here and then that way. Like, of course, if your Abby's head is further away, you know, you just finish that behind. But we're right in behind Abby here, like neck hair. Okay. Right, so like I guess like we'll just do like his nose. Little small button nose. Nostril. There. And a small, very small nose on this guy. Like that, kind of. And then he's just got like a real serious sort of mouth. Just kind of downturned like that. And then the lips. Big sort of top lip. And then a thin enough bottom lip. Right, and then like his face shape. Delicate features. Jaw goes up that way. Where's this? So he's got that long dangling earring. It looks like an icicle or something sticking down. Then his ear goes off that way. Whew. Man, I am now officially tired. I said this on the Dragon Ball one I did as well. It's worth it. It's worth it. Keep going. So his neck is kind of, where's his neck? His neck muscles here. He's kind of like leaning back. There's more hair. And then he has that collar here. And then another earring just beside his mouth. Right, so then this sort of V goes that way. Whoa, I can't believe this is way over an hour. Worth it though, worth it. Well done. Me. Congratulations to me. And you, if you got here. I doubt anyone did though. All right. Thank you so much for 1 million subscribers. I just thought I'd mark it by doing some like crazy drawings. I didn't know what else to do. Hope it's helpful. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one. Ugh, my mic.